to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face! Now, I don't know what kind of pan-Pacific bullshit power play you're trying to pull here, but Asia Jack is my territory. So whatever you're thinking, you better think again. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to head down there, and I will rain down on a godly fucking firestorm upon you. You're gonna have to call the fucking United Nations and get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you. I am talking scorched earth, motherfucker. I will massacre you. I will fuck you up!
You're listening to Two Strangers, One Podcast. Please visit twostrangersonePodcast.net.
Subscribe to us on iTunes or on the Stitcher app for Android devices. And now, here's Chris Colon and Paul Pasquillo.
Well, hello and welcome to Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
And I will fuck you up, which is the part of the clip from a Tropic Thunder, which I very likely will probably put in the beginning of this episode. I always like to put like little 30-second clips or something like that right in the beginning of the episode, just so. And each episode is like a little individual one. Sometimes it's a nod to something in episode. Sometimes it's just something that I just want to throw in there because I'm weird. I hate it when I listen to plenty of podcasts and I just get to the point. Like I know, like me, I think 30 seconds is good enough where you can entertain somebody and then keep it moving. I hate it when people like put like long fucking intros. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with YouTube videos. I watch tons and tons and tons of YouTube videos and I I'll watch videos about like instructional stuff. And they're like for everything, like how to fix, something on your car or how to fix your DVD player or fix something on a computer. And there's a few different kinds of videos. The ones I hate the most are the ones that are like they'll play like horrible music in the background, right? Where like the person's not even talking because like you're having an issue, like whatever, like you're having an issue with a program. Like right now, I'm having fucking issues with CallGraph, right? Like ever since Skype updated, there's no fucking good recording programs, or at least not for Windows 8. And so like I'll have a problem, so I'll go to YouTube and like how to fix Skype for Windows 8, hypothetically. And then you'll watch a video and it's like somebody using like a screen capture program, and so there's no audio, and then like you see them typing into Notepad. Here, I'm going to show you how to do stuff. And like, oh, and then it's always the worst fucking music. It's always like some bullshit.
It's
like,
elevator music,
dance music. No. I hate it when it's like club music or like European dance music. It's like I don't want to hear this shit. And you might as well mute the video. And then like you'll watch other videos, and sometimes it'll be like an extreme complex program, not necessarily like on a computer, but it'll be like, and you watch a video and it's like a fucking 12-year-old kid. Hi, this isn't gonna help you, and like it'll be something, I'm trying to think of like something real complicated that a kid wouldn't know, like you're trying to fix something on your car or something like that, like, hi, this is my video. Like, what the fuck does a 12-year-old know about fixing cars? And then you have the last one is when you watch a video and it's somebody who technically speaks English, but it's not like hello, and when they're going to open the Windows screen and like, well, dude, what the fuck are you? I don't know if
I've seen these videos on YouTube. It's hilarious.
I don't know if you're like South American or you're fucking Indian or like I think I'm pretty good at figuring out people's like accents.
Have I been able to help you today?
Yeah, and it's like and then like they're all mush mouth and everything like that. Like, don't you understand that if you can't speak English, like maybe you should talk slower, or maybe like okay, like me with Spanish. Spanish is I'm technically Puerto Rican. When I speak Spanish, I speak it slow and clear, and I announce every word. I pronounce every word when I'm talking to somebody because, obviously it's usually like at work or something like that where I'll have somebody who, and I'll just, so if you know that language isn't your strong suit, speak slow, speak clear. It's like this in the and then in the windows and then it goes and here's the most important part. How's and you're like, what's the most important part? Like you rewind like 5 times.
Here's Teddy Roosevelt once said, "Speak softly, but carry a big stick."
I already got a big stick in my pants, but YouTube can be wonderful for figuring out. You can learn so much stuff on YouTube, and you learn about like Like if you watch like programs, like sometimes I'll get into like a real creative mood where like I want to draw, and there's like videos like how to draw Batman or something like that, and you watch it, and some of them are fucking fantastic. Some people are really good, and then like some people like they'll go and they'll draw like a circle, and then like it'll literally like cut and like okay, and now you're done with Batman. Like they skip all the important parts. Or you'll watch a video where sometimes you'll watch a video where the person doesn't solve the problem they meant to address, and they're like, oh, that's not working. And it's like, asshole, you had to fucking upload that video. And it wasn't like it was something live that just recorded and just happened to end up on YouTube. I've seen instructional videos for things where like the person didn't complete what the fuck they were doing. They're like, oh, I guess that doesn't work. Oh well, and it's like, oh, frustrating as fuck.
So you want to kill a bunch of people? I get it.
Yeah.
I will fuck you up.
I will fuck you up. And you watch, and some people. Now there are people who have like a series of videos. Like there are people like, oh, I'm gonna make a whole series about such and such.
Go on.
So they'll make an intro, and the intro is fucking long as fuck. Like I think like our intro, like right now, our current intro is like it's the song from Power Man 5000, theme to a fake revolution. But it's like you're listening to Two Strangers One Podcast. Now here's Paul and Chris. Follow us on iTunes. At least it's like it's kind of intercut. It goes back and forth. I don't think it's long, and it's just like you watch other videos where like it'll be like literally like a minute worth of a song. Like that's the intro. Mm-hmm. And like they think because they have like a graphic that says their name on it or whatever, like it's supposed to make up for the fact that you got to sit there for a minute. Basically, all YouTube videos they should make a 30-second skip button, because all YouTube videos you can skip the first 30 seconds. I forgot, someone brought that up to my attention, and it's true. Watch YouTube for anything that you would consider helpful. The first 30 seconds, and oh hi, and the beginning is always them introducing themselves. It's like, just get to the fucking problem. I'm watching this video because you know how to fucking fix the carburetor on a Crown Victoria. I don't want to hear, hi, this is Joe Smith from Joe Smith's Garages out in Putnam County, and so who we are today, and it's a nice day, and I'm okay. Now we're gonna show this Crown Victoria. Now I got this Crown Victoria about 5 years ago. Like, asshole, I just get to the fucking point. I mean, I guess people would say that about us, but this is a podcast. It's supposed to be like entertaining. Us talking back and forth is supposed to be entertaining.
Exactly.
We don't get to the point. The point of our show is we don't get to the point.
So, so you were listening to the Tsunami Faithful podcast.
I was listening. So I'm working. I am now officially working overnights.
Wait. Has any of the homeless guys raped you yet?
No, actually. I mean, I've had people walk into my store, because what happens is we got these guys, and as of last week, like they were tearing shit up. I mean, these guys are pros. I mean, they've done it a bunch of times, but basically they're in and out all night. So we do have a security guard that stands there and watches the door, and they're in and out. And on occasion, you'll get the occasional person that just kind of strolls in, and it's like, asshole, all the gates are down. It's fucking like 2:00 in the morning. We're never open at 2:00 in the morning. And people will just stroll in. It's like, no, we're not open. And you see, like, they got these guys, because it's a crew. So they have, like, all their trucks outside, and they have, like, generators going with lights and all this crazy shit. And like, a person doesn't take any context clues into, I swear, if you want to like mug somebody, like act like the store's open. Like if you want to, like if you want to be a successful mugger or something like that, make it look like a store's open or something like that, because people just don't fucking pay attention. And you'd be surprised on how many times, like, because where I work, and I'm not going to tell you where, I don't disclose where I work, because I don't want to get fucking fired, because like you're not supposed to share that on social media. But my store offers a customer card. You go to a lot of places, like, are you a part of our club? And they give you like a little thing you put on your keychain, and you scan, or you could type in your phone number or whatever. You don't know. I can't tell you how many times when I ask someone that question, they'll look around and go, what store am I in? Because they usually have like they have their cards, but like they're used to cards like from other stores. Like they'll hand me their, up here, and I don't work at Wegmans, so I guess I could say that. So like up here, Wegmans is a popular supermarket chain, and the person will hand me like their Wegmans card. I'm like, asshole, you're not in fucking Wegmans. You're in my store. And I've literally had people look around like, which store am I in? Or they'll say one of our competitors. Oh, where's my CVS card? Asshole, you're not a fucking CVS. But it blows my mind how people could. I don't know how you can walk into a store and not know what store you're in. I think I'm very cognizant of what stores I walk in. I guess sometimes I need beer. Beer's over there. I'll go in that building. They have beer in there.
Well, is the front door open or is it like the side door?
No, it's the front door because the way my store's set up,
Oh,
I mean,
man,
the
that's
side.
stupid.
Yeah, it's the front door, but we have a security guard there. But it's like by the time the crew starts working, like there's like construction in the way. Like how could you just walk into a store and see like all this construction and then think like, oh shit, it's open?
It'd be funny,
And
like all of a sudden you hear music. Doom, 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 doom.
fucking yeah, just totally just brainwashed fucking
Wait,
people.
wait. Let me take a guess. You get those people that go, well, can I still just get one thing?
Oh, I've had that. I had
Oh
a guy.
my
Oh,
God.
could I get some toilet paper? And I was like, and I'm like, dude, the fucking registers aren't. The registers. I can't ring you out even if I wanted to, which is bullshit because there is one logged in because in case the construction guys want to buy pop or chips or whatever before they go on lunch. But I'm like, there's no register signed in. I can't. Sorry, sir. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like we're doing a disservice. You shouldn't have walked in the fucking door at 2:00 in the morning.
I would be like, listen here, bitch. Actually, here's a funny story. So the one job I can talk about, I work at this mobile station over by Marketplace Mall, and this guy has to be homeless, and he's definitely got some kind of issue going on. So he always tries to come in and exchange his money for change and blah blah blah, and he knows he's not supposed to do it, but then he'll come in sometimes and actually buy stuff. Today he comes in and he buys some shit. He buys like 2 bags of chips. He takes them out over to the old Circuit City building on the side and dumps them both out so that the seagulls that are on top of the building can come down and eat them. And he's sitting there telling everybody at he comes back to the gas station and tells everybody, hey, yeah, I put these out for the birds. Oh, I did a good deed today.
Nobody wants people go through efforts to get fucking seagulls off their property. And you're fucking inviting them over. That's disgusting. I hate that shit. I guess like they show like people that are poor like do more for other poor people. Have you seen those stupid videos on YouTube?
Oh yeah, no, I've seen.
Where they have like a guy like
I've
there's
seen
like a guy pretending to be homeless and he asks people for money all day and then he'll ask like another homeless person for like food or whatever and then you see the homeless person is the only person that actually gives him food. And it's like that's so fucking hacky bull. I hate people like don't post that shit. That's so garbage. That's like I know what response you're trying to invoke, and it's just stop being that person.
Well, I would do that. I would fucking be like, I'd give him something and then see what he actually does with it, and then if that person does something stupid with it, arrest him.
Well, no. Like there's one video in particular where you see like a person is pretending to be a homeless person, and so they walk and you see them asking like a whole bunch of people, could I, or I think they even like specifically don't even ask for money. They're like, could you buy me some food? Could you buy me some food?
Right.
Nobody buys them food, and then that actor pretending to be a homeless person then goes up to another homeless person and says like, could you get me some food? And then like that homeless person then gives him like the sandwich out of his hand, like saying like, oh, people who have stuff don't give, but the people who don't have, like they, a person who doesn't have appreciates the fact of another person doesn't have and will share when there are people who have everything and don't share. And it's like, come on, man, don't give me that hokey fucking bullshit. And how many homeless people did you have to ask before the fucking I would love to hear like a person who's trying to make a video and got stabbed by a homeless person today because he asked him for a sandwich.
Well, you know what else we have? We have this guy that comes around every single day. It seems like at the same time every day too. He comes around and he goes through the garbages for bottles, puts them. I guess somebody gave him a cart because it's actually a federal offense if you steal a cart. I don't know if anybody knew that. And yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
If you ever go into here's the thing for anybody that doesn't know this. When you go into your grocery store next time, whether it be Wegmans or whatever your store is in the place that you're listening to this podcast at, go into your store, go to a cart, and look on the handle. On the Wegmans handle, it says it's basically a federal offense if the cart is stolen and not returned. It's kind of funny. It's really hilarious.
Like if you ever go down to the Piggly Wiggly, yeah, we have. I mean, we have guys that are like, oh, it's annoying. So I want to move on.
Before you get pissed.
Before I get fucking more pissed.
Where'd you go? Oh, I broke him.
Recently, I mean, you and I are both. I don't watch sports. I'm not a sports person, but I'm assuming. I believe you're. Well, no, you are. You are straight up a Yankees fan. You're.
Damn fucking straight. I bleed Yankee blood, motherfucker.
But I'm trying to think of what. Well, I'm so fucking. Why? That's just how not a sports fan I am. The guy that just retired, number 2.
Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter. Yes.
Oh my God, I should stab you. You're from.
Well, I'm sorry, my
You're
brain's
from New York City. I should stab you in the heart right now. Like, how do you not? Oh my God, move on before I kill you.
Well, I'm saying New York City just had what they call the Subway Series, which is the Mets versus the Yankees. The Mets, who were like on an 11-game winning streak, as soon as they come across the Yankees, get their ass handed to them. But the Yankees aren't necessarily having a good run right now. Like, like some of the, they've been like losing more games than winning. If I'm not, I mean, once again, I don't watch sports, so if I'm wrong. But long story short, the Yankees aren't doing that great, and yet they still beat the fucking Mets, who were 11-0 or whatever. So even the Yankees at their worst are still better than the Mets.
They've been looking good lately, the Yankees, actually.
And I guess apparently like A-Rod. And once again, I mean, this isn't a sports show. I'm the last person to talk about sports, but everyone's saying like how A-Rod like has like woken up. Like, for years he's been like a little lackluster.
No. They brought back Get A-Rod Laid Fund. Okay, we're gonna have to look for the girl that's fucking him, and we'll be fine. Dude, I swear to God, like there was years back when he was dating Kate Hudson, I was just sitting there going, so basically the Yankees are paying Kate Hudson to fuck him so that way he actually hits, because he was actually hitting during that series, and we actually won the World Series too that year.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, all right, just keep making sure that he gets laid.
So he must be getting laid now because he's hitting, he comes.
Well, no, I don't think, I necessarily don't think that he's getting laid, so to speak. I think what's going on is he's realized that he's coming to the end of his career, and, he's kind of got to prove himself, because a lot of people have said how stupid and how ignorant he is, and how he can't play the game. And you know what? I would agree with all those people, because I was one of those people. But
but he was. I mean, he was in the shadow of Derek Jeter. Also, I mean, that's kind of a big shadow to be under.
Well, he didn't play all of last year either, so
okay.
There's that as well.
And now he's like, these pipes are clean.
Oh, Chris, I know that reference, and I won't say anything.
It was it was the movie Cabin Boy with Chris Elliott, and I mean, it's been years since I've seen that movie, but in the movie he gets laid. Like what happens is like he's like this fancy boy, whatever, and he ends up on a pirate ship, and the guys, he's been so long, they set it up where basically he could get laid. So like he's a virgin, for lack of a better term, and then he goes and it's this weird like mythical creature that's like in a fucking cave or whatever. It looks like the fucking Indian goddess like Vishnu, like the six-armed woman or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think eventually it insinuates that he has sex with her, and then he comes out of the cave, he's finally busted a nut, he's finally come, and he stands there, and then like this glorious light is behind him. He goes, "These pipes are clean." So I always love that line. So I guess A-Rod is standing, with the glorious light behind him, going, "These pipes are clean," and he's happy now. That's good for him.
You can't see me, Chris, but I'm shaking my head at you right now. You need to get some more sleep. I'm going to shake my head at you some more.
Well, this week, and when you go back into the history of Two Strangers on Podcast, this week is basically like one of the best weeks ever. Early May is always
best week ever. I don't know. I'm tired.
Yeah, so May 1st, after years and years and years of speculation, and I mean, this isn't really nerdy news. It's nerdy news, but it's not, we could just talk about it. This week, May 1st, is The Avengers coming out. And of course, as we all know, that means that, like, they're just going to own the fucking box office. I mean, it's money in the bank. You know that they're just going to just rake in.
It's really funny because Furious 7 has been destroying the box office for 4 weeks actually now, and everybody's like, yeah, that's not going to happen next week.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I guess and once again, I mean, this isn't really nerdy news, but I believe Vin Diesel said they're going to do an 8.
Yep, it's basically confirmed now.
They've made, because I guess like with 7 they were like, okay, Paul Walker died, and he was basically he's the series. Besides like part 3, the series was kind of he was kind of like the main guy in the series, but it's like, fuck you, fuck Paul Walker, fuck his memory. We're making money. No, we're making Fast and Furious 8. Like,
well,
these are gonna be
apparently
the Friday the 13th movies.
Apparently they had talked about, him and Paul Walker had talked about doing an 8 even before 7 was even out yet and even done with production. So I guess this was just to kind of honor him further, because somehow they had talked about it. I'm guessing there's some kind of storyline to it. So hopefully it'll be just as big as this one. So. But
I mean, these movies are gonna be fucking driven. Pun unintended, but they're gonna be driven into the fucking ground.
Well,
soon it's gonna be like Fast and Furious 9 Assignment Miami Beach.
I do know that which is funny. I think it was a week or two ago. I want to say 2, or maybe it was this week. No, it was last weekend. Yes, it was last weekend because on the 18th, Dragon Ball Z Resurrection of F, or whatever it's going to be called in the English dub. Or they'll keep the stupid name. I hate that name. It actually beat It beat Furious 7 at the box office when it debuted
In Japan.
It was it's kind of funny because everywhere else it was doing well, and then in Japan it's like, nope, fuck you, Dragon Ball Z. and there again, actually, Dragon Ball Z is in 3D too, so that should be interesting to see if that comes over here as well.
They did have a U.S. And I only know this because I listened to Kale Bear. Kale Bear has a podcast called the Big Bald Podcast, so that's right up my alley. So he basically said that he went. What was that?
I said, I wonder why.
Because I'm big and bald, baby. Come rub my nuts. He basically said that they had a Hollywood premiere.
They did.
Where the movie was dubbed, because even though he's gonna be in it. And I mean, not dubbed, excuse me, subtitled. So even though he basically went to go see the movie before he had a chance, they haven't scheduled him yet to do the dubbing, the English dub, but he went to go see it, and he said like it was real good. And even his girlfriend, who's like not into like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, like she enjoyed it. So apparently, I mean, of course he goes, and he goes, look, I have a bias. Obviously I do have a bias that this is, but
right.
It's really good. But I guess between the last one, Battle of the Gods, and this one, they're staying in canon. It was funny how like we've switched over to fucking nerdy news. Might as well. They stayed in canon with the series, and so I mean, and I'm glad. I guess so many people want it.
Well, I think
it's kind of like a Fast and Furious. Like if so many people want it, might as well, give the people what they want, as long as it's good and staying true to the source material.
And what it was is a lot of. Basically, what happened was with GT, Dragon Ball GT. Those of you that don't know, that's a series. It didn't come off the way that it was supposed to. I think a lot of people didn't like how things were going on with it. So, it is what it is. But I think it's going to do well, and I think that if Funimation is smart this time, they'll allow 20th Century Fox to distribute it wide, and multiple theaters can have it. Because I think this movie can do a good 20 to 30 million if it's allowed to go all in any and every theater in the United States, even if it's just for 1 week. Are you kidding me? That fucking movie would do 20 to 30 million in 1 week, and it's gonna come out during the summertime. That is when everybody's out. Are you kidding me? It will destroy everything in its path. Well,
even if it's just an advertisement for the DVD.
Well, let me take that back. If it's up against, let's see, Jurassic World or the new Terminator movie, it may get fucked in the ass a little bit, but.
You put it out in August when exactly. all the big all the big studios have blown their loads, so you put it out in August where people kind of they want. I mean, shit, 40-Year-Old Virgin was a fucking August movie, So and it's funny, like of course, I mean, no doubt, I want to see Jurassic World, but like I listen to Pandora. I've tried Spotify, and I want to smash my head against the fucking wall. I do not understand Spotify.
Spotify is awesome, by the way. But continue.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone tells me it's so good, and I can't. I'm confounded
Chris,
by it. Yeah,
I'm gonna say this as your friend. I love you, but you're old.
What I'm saying is, I'm a relatively smart person. I'm socially, I'm good on social media. I mean, I understand computers. I go on Spotify and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'll stick to Pandora. Thank you very much. Well, on Pandora, you could have a couple different stations, and so I've listened to. I mean, one of my stations that I listen to is I like to listen to movie soundtracks, like scores and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The Jurassic Park theme came on, and I don't know what it was. It just took me back. It made me feel like I felt like a little kid again.
Yeah.
Listening to the original Jurassic Park theme makes me want to go see Jurassic World. Like I was excited before, but now I'm really excited. If that makes any sense.
Right. Yeah. I'm really excited to see Jurassic World. I think. See, that's the thing. Like a lot of us hardcore Jurassic Park fans have wanted the same thing that we've wanted since the first one. Take us back to the original park. That's what we wanted. That's what you should have done, and you didn't. Now we're back at the original park. You're gonna sell a lot of fucking tickets. and I'm so excited to see. Like apparently, according to this new trailer, like this genetically engineered.
It's basically a T-Rex with long arms.
No, it's like a genetically engineered T-Rex that actually starts leading these dinosaurs to actually go out on their free will and start killing people, basically.
But I could be from I mean the little bit that I've seen or whatever, because there's a huge part of the commercial where like you see like hands, like not hands, but I mean you see, I mean if I'm not mistaken, it's basically a T-Rex that has been given longer arms, meaning now he could start manipulating shit. You know, like he could start moving shit around. Like he's not as, I mean, of course, the T-Rex is terrifying because his fucking big giant jaws. But now you take a giant killing machine and give him arms that can reach shit.
Right.
He will fuck you up.
All right. Well, we should go to the commercial break here real quick.
Okay, and we'll be back with more dick and fart jokes.
Maybe.
This episode of Two Strangers, One Podcast is brought to you by Comics Etc., 1115 East Main and North Goodman at the Hungerford Building, door number 8. Find out more information at comicsetc.biz or like them on Facebook at facebook.com/comicsetc1.
Click and Hit, enhancing the experience for all recreational smokers. Click and Hit is a one-handed portable vaporizer. This smoking pipe has a compact 4-stage design, complete with a built-in, windproof, butane refillable torch lighter. The large burn chamber holds your stash of legal herb or pipe tobacco. Click the button to ignite and inhale as usual. When you are done, put it back in your pocket for later. Smoke anytime with the touch of a button. No more carrying around grinders and tins. Pipe, rolling papers, and even your lighter at home. The Click and Hit cordless vaporizer is no bigger than a normal cigar, making it the world's smallest and most discreet vaporizer. It's perfect for use in small places or shared rooms. It's efficient, getting 5 to 8 draws from your packed chamber. It's affordable at just $19.95 each. Buy 3 and the shipping is free. Buy 4 and you get the 5th one free. Visit www.click-hit.com. That's clickandhit.com. And now for listeners of Two Strangers, One Podcast, you can use promo code STRANGERS and receive 10% off your purchase at clickandhit.com. That's promo code STRANGERS for 10% off your purchase.
And we're back. All right, Paul. This show we went straight into the fucking nerdy news before even the
Hey, my cock was out just before we even started. So let's get to this shit.
You took a picture of your dick? You literally took a picture of your dick?
I did. I'm gonna send it to you right now. No, I didn't take a picture of my dick. You fuck.
I'll show you my T-Rex, motherfucker. So I
don't know where that was going, but
well, I to complete a thing that I was kind of saying from the first part of the show. May 2nd, at least in the United States, is Free Comic Book Day. So go out and support your local comic book store, because they say Free Comic Book Day, but of course people, have a little fucking common courtesy. When they say Free Comic Book Day, yes, you can go to the store and you get your comic books, but that means you go and you spend fucking money. If you show up to a comic book store on a Free Comic Book Day just to get free comics and then walk the fuck out the door, you're a fucking human piece of shit. You're a human piece of garbage, trash. You should die. So
no, please tell us how you really feel, Chris.
And I happen to be off this Saturday because of my schedule, and I will be going to Comics Etc. It's advertised on our show every episode. It's our local show.
Hey.
It's my local shop.
I want some free comics, bitch. You better tell them, give me some.
Well, I mean, because it's really, I mean, the funny thing about Andy is that the guy who runs the place, he's a good fucking dude, and there was a time where he let back before you joined the show, he was letting us record in his basically it was like the back room of the store, which is where they had all the back issues, where like people could come in, like if you were looking for an older issue of something, they're not going to have it out front because it's just taking up space, so you could go in the back and pull the back issues. And he had a table set up there and everything, because it was set up for kids that were playing HeroClix. That game is kind of, I still don't understand how HeroClix works, but I mean the people who play it fucking fall in love with it. So I mean there was already a table and everything set up back there. So and what they do is on Free Comic Book Day, he opens up the side entrance and people come in through the side entrance. They walk through that back room and that's where the back room, he'll have things set up where you'll have local artists and stuff like that. And then you get your free comics, and then you leave the back room to the front room, and then you make whatever other purchases you're going to make. And I kind of have an idea on what comic books I'm going to pick up. But so I will be going to Comics Etc., our local store, on May the 2nd, which is a Saturday. The first Saturday the first Saturday of every May is Free Comic Book Day. So
and you will be getting me many comics.
Well,
yes, you will, motherfucker. I want every one of them that you can get me. You should look and see. You know what I really want? See if they got like Samurai. Oh no, Samurai Jack's probably on sale. Fuck.
No. Well, no. There's a set. There's every year they set out. Each year has its own free comic book day. Like each year has its own like release.
What day is this again?
What was that?
What day is this again?
Saturday the 2nd.
We
it's all day long.
We might have to come. I might have to come with you and hold your hand, and
Oh yeah, shit. I mean, I don't know if you were busy. I was like, because the first year, I actually dragged Kristen, my first co-host. She didn't like comics, and I had my little recorder with me, and I dragged her to like all the stores in Rochester to get free comics. It's funny, like I drove around all around Rochester.
There's actually one.
I could have just buy comics, but
there's one over there. I'm trying to think. Over there on St. Paul too, actually.
Well, the one on St. Paul, Comic Book Heaven, actually doesn't participate.
Fuck them.
And besides, we're sponsored by Comics Etc. So, comicsetc.biz. ETC, Comics ETC, not ECT, not to confuse, etc. ETC, comicsetc.biz. Which I guess by the time you get to this part of the episode, you've already heard that.
And stabbed yourself probably 50 times. But anyways.
So May the 2nd is Free Comic Book Day, and then May the 4th be with you, is going to be Star Wars Day. So,
oh God, they're going to have something on that day.
So you have the Avengers May 1st, Free Comic Book Day May 2nd, May 3rd. What else? It's going to be Sunday. You do whatever you need to do.
Tsunami Faithful Day. I don't know. I'm just making something up.
Yeah, right. If it starts at 11, it starts 11:30, right? Or 11.
What
time does Tsunami start?
Midnight. You should follow these things, Chris.
I don't have cable, and then but I do have access to Netflix. I could actually watch some of the shows on.
Get some fucking cable, okay?
So technically, it is May 3rd. If it's after midnight.
I don't want to hear this technically bullshit out of you. I don't love you anymore.
May the 3rd, you can watch your Tsunami.
You know what?
On Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, whatever, legit legal way. Don't bootleg or watch Crunchyroll or anything like that.
Or I'll come and stab.
And then Monday's May the 4th, which, I mean, I don't know if they're going to do anything special for May the 4th, because, I mean, we just had Star Wars Celebration, but, maybe
the extended trailer comes out on May the 4th.
Yeah, it's May the 4th. I mean, go out there. Now, one of the things that ever since Celebration, they have released, and here's actually, I'm going to kind of like bash Star Wars here for a second. Not bash them, but they've released the digital downloads, and they've made it this big deal. Oh, well, now you can get Star Wars on iTunes. Like it wasn't there before. And I think it's like on Vudu and Ultraviolet. Long story short,
we do Vudu. Oh, and
it's basically all the major digital distributions. These companies that you pay money for. I don't like it, because what if Apple just decides to just something bad happens to Apple and they disappear. Every TV show and movie that you bought now fucking disappears. But you can technically get digital download. Now, mind you, when you pay for the digital download, these are the special editions, people. These are the Greedo shot first, that stupid guy singing in Jabba's palace, Hayden Christensen's, instead of, at the end of Return of the Jedi, where it's Hayden Christensen's, ghost there instead of the, David Prowse. So, these are the special edition downloads, meaning that these fuckers know that when they finally decide to release the original cut without all the extra, Lucas bullshit, you're gonna buy it again,
right?
And assholes like me already have it on I have the original trilogy on VHS. I have the special edition. Well, not original trilogy. Do I have?
Yeah, no. I'm sorry. Looking right now.
Well, no, I'm saying like I have, I have like, I want to say, do I have the original trilogy? Because I have two sets. I have two different sets. I have one regular set, then I believe it's a special edition that's like in a silver box. I have them all on DVD. I haven't bought them on bootleg, but I'm contemplating buying them on bootleg. I'm gonna wait until Disney does the proper thing and puts the original trilogy, which doesn't have the extra scenes, but is remastered. That I do want it remastered so it looks good on a giant flat screen TV. But how many times are they going to get people to buy the same fucking movies over again? You know what I'm saying? Like I have them on VHS. I have the special editions on VHS. I have the original movies on DVD. They haven't released like I said, the original yet remastered ones on DVD. I don't have them on Blu-ray, but then once again, I'll wait till they have the Blu-ray original trilogy yet remastered, and now you can digitally download. And it's like they don't give a fuck. You're gonna keep spending your money, and there are gonna be people who buy it. But understand, if you're putting your money towards it, you're buying the fucking special edition, which has all the extra shit that people don't like.
Right.
Okay. Big this week. The finally officially released photos of the Jared Leto Joker, and boy, did the fucking internet explode. I don't like it. I mean, I appreciate that they're trying to go on a different path.
They are.
It's kind of hard to, in this day and kind of hard. It's hard in this day and age, especially, post, after seeing Heath Ledger's version, which, I mean, I don't want to say Heath Ledger's version is like the ultimate Joker, because it's not. I mean, you can, the beauty of the Joker is you can reimagine him. I mean, we have Cesar Romero, Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger. I mean, even fucking Mark Hamill's version. I mean, they're all different versions of the same character. But I don't like it. I mean, and people said that when Heath Ledger's Joker came out. People were like, oh, I don't want this asshole playing the Joker. He's covered in tattoos. All the tattoos are like Joker related. Like he has like the ha 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 tattoo, and he has a skull a skull in a Joker's hat. He has smiling face, smiling mouths all over his fucking like a Cheshire cat Joker smile. It says Joker written across his stomach, kind of like in the late 90s, like Tupac with Thug Life. It just looks, he has a grill. He has a fucking grill. And what I don't like is people are like, oh, he has a grill because Batman punched his face so many times that his teeth got knocked out, so he has a grill. But if you look at the grill, he doesn't have metal teeth. It's because if you look at the grill, it actually has little holes in it where you see where his original teeth are. This is something that fit over his teeth. So, he has red lipstick. I guess it's okay to have the red lipstick because he's the Joker, but he looks like Marilyn Manson. He looks a lot. I mean, Marilyn Manson did the same thing with the fucking, the grill and the pale face and the ultraviolet. If you look at when he did the album called Golden Age of the Grotesque, Golden Age of Grotesque, they stole, they basically took Marilyn Manson and said, let's make the Joker look like Marilyn Manson. And I think the two stupidest things is he has damaged written right on his like brow line, like right where his hair ends, his damage, which is so fucking stupid. And then he has a J tattooed by his eye the way other people have, like a teardrop tattooed on his eye, like he was in prison or some shit like that. So I just don't like it. Are they going for like a thug Joker? Like, because I guess there are times where the Joker's portrayed like a gangster. So are they going for instead of being like a gangster, instead of being like a 1920s Italian gangster, are they going for like a late 90s Tupac, like gangsta? You know what I'm saying? If someone say, oh, what if, if the Joker was raised in modern times, he's not going to be wearing a zoot suit and a big, fedora, he would be covered in tattoos listening to Tupac, it just, it infuriates me. And he's wearing a fucking grill. Who the fuck wears grills anymore? Nobody wears grills. Even the rappers who fucking made grills famous don't wear fucking grills anymore.
I think he was actually scared of, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. I was going to say...
Maybe he's scared of the Batman punching him in the mouth, or
probably. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And it's just and he has the green. I mean, the green hair looks good, and then he's wearing in the picture he's wearing one purple glove, which I don't know. Maybe they're it looks like a glove that you would wear when you dye your hair. So I don't know if they'll show him in the movie wearing the purple gloves to be like he's dyeing his hair or something. Beat it. And he's only wearing one. I mean, I hope I don't know.
I'm not gonna take this all into I'm not gonna be like, okay, well he's a shitty asshole now and he's not gonna be anything good. I actually think that I think this will end up being it'll be okay. I don't think it's gonna be anything big, but I think they're trying to radically shift him away from what we've seen, because we've seen, how do I put Jack Nicholson's Joker? An animated version of Joker, the Jack Nicholson one, because he acts like the one from the animated series. And then we've seen what the reality of Joker really is, because really, that if you read the novels, if you're a hardcore Batman fan, a lot of people consider the novels as canon. So if you're considering that as canon, Heath Ledger hit that shit out of the park. So I guess when you sit there and you have to do Joker again, it's going to be hard to be like, okay, how do we do this? Because you got to kind of think outside of the box, because unfortunately, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, and not to whatever, but just remember the animated Joker came out after the movie.
True.
Yeah, the movie came out in '89. The animated Joker came out in '91. But that's a
Well, I think it was along the same lines. But actually, speaking of Batman, have you watched Batman versus Robin?
I haven't watched Batman versus Robin yet. I honestly,
I
to be very honest with you, I thought I'd be getting a copy in the mail, and I don't know what happened. I don't. Maybe did I get shunned because I didn't do a DC Lego Justice League versus Bizarro League? I don't know. Maybe I was blacklisted or something like that because I didn't get a copy. You know, I got Throne of Atlantis, and I got like I said, Lego Justice League versus Bizarro League, but I did not get Batman versus Robin. And I was hoping and praying that, like, oh, maybe it's coming late. Maybe it's maybe the mailman forgot it in the mail. Maybe
Well,
I'm a little lower on the list.
well, maybe Paul will let you watch it later. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe we have to do a video review, so we'll figure this out.
Mhm.
But anyways,
Yeah, so I know it's out. I was kind of just hoping that maybe any day now my copy would come in the mail.
it's an incredible movie. I will say that it's not an incredible movie. It's better than what I saw from Son of Batman. It was a lot more action. It took us into a situation that is not the norm for the Batman universe, meaning not just because of Damian, but also because of the fact that the Court of Owls was never a part of the Batman series, and they came out with a comic. It was a recent comic book series, from what I've heard. Trust me, I've heard from.
Yeah, by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
Yeah, so and I found it really interesting that it took a different look at how Bruce Wayne's parents were killed, because they basically hint at they were killed by the Court of Owls, and if that's the case, well, it's like, okay. But I'm looking forward to. There's another Batman movie coming out. It's a different animation. It looks more like if anybody has seen The Batman, the one that was on WB. Was it called The Batman?
Yeah, there was one. Yeah, The Batman.
Right, where he was like younger, and the anime. It looks the same as that kind of animation, and it's also. I mean, it's in my opinion, it doesn't look like it's going to be anything good. But I may try to get it anyways and review it. But there's also, after that, there's one that is outside of the Justice League. It's not part of this Justice League universe that's going on right now. The Son of Batman and Batman vs. Robin are part of the current Justice League, I guess, series that's going on. Not series in like TV series, but more like
all the movies are connected. They're
Right.
all the movies, you know, where DC fails in its live action
Let's
movies.
just say like
The
this.
animated movies are fucking fantastic.
Right.
And actually, in Throne of Atlantis, there's a deleted scene where. It's on the DVD. On Throne of Atlantis, there is a deleted scene which basically hints at the Court of Owls.
Right.
It's sort of the scene from in Throne of Atlantis. It's the part where like Green Lantern comes to get Batman or whatever, and they go. They basically. Like Green Lantern comes to get Batman, and then you see like the Court of Owls are kind of like watching that. Like it kind of pulls back a little bit, and you see them watching. So I mean, they kind of were hinting at the Court of Owls, even on in that. Of course, I mean,
they're not
just
stupid.
came a couple months ago.
I'm sure they weren't stupid. They weren't like, oh, well, let's go attack Green Lantern, even though he could fuck us up in 2 seconds.
But I mean, the point is the animated movies are taking a smart move from the Marvel movies, where these are all part of a larger universe.
Oh yeah, and I will say this to you, like it was I think I gave Batman Son of Batman a 7 out of 10 if I remember correctly. This one is definitely an 8, maybe 8.5. It was pretty good, and I like where they're leading this whole Batman animated trilogy. Hopefully we'll get to see a lot of these, because I'd like to see how Damian becomes part of this. I guess probably becomes Batman eventually, because I think in the comic book series he actually becomes Batman at one point.
Yeah, there are comics where written by Grant Morrison. I love Grant Morrison, even though sometimes he everything he does is either really stupid or fucking extremely brilliant. But he does one where it jumps into the future,
right?
So, and it's a future. It's not it's not the Batman Beyond universe. It's a different Batman where it's Damian Wayne all grown up, and the same way, like the way Batman wears a cape, he wears like a trench coat, and it's like a trench coat, but like the trench coat has it's instead of wearing just the the stupid not stupid. I mean, instead of wearing a utility belt, it's a utility cape or a utility jacket.
Right.
So and plus, Damian Wayne being the person that he is, that he's a bit more violent. Like, he's not about to not kill people. What I'm saying? Or Batman draws a line of not killing people.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. That pretty much like Damian is like he has a gun too, and he actually kills certain people too.
Yeah, that's the whole thing is like he's like basically with the trench coat, he looks more militant. He looks like a fucking
he looks like a
Nazi
darker
soldier.
version of that Captain America suit that was in the first Captain America. Probably, I would put it along those lines. But they actually hinted at that in this movie, which leads me to believe that they're probably not going to use it if they show a future Damian Wayne. I think what's going to end up happening is Batman kind of changes him into more of a smart assassin, so to speak. Because the one thing that Batman has instilled in Damian is, I'm trying to think the exact phrase. It's justice, not
punishment. I mean, yeah,
justice, not kill, or something like that.
Justice, not revenge, or something.
Yeah.
Like that. So speaking of DC, the DC movies, where we all agree the animated movies are fucking fantastic. Unfortunately, the live action movies have kind of are a little bit lackluster, and hopefully that will change. But okay, they were interviewing Joss Whedon, because like I said, Age of Ultron. And every time I hear Age of Ultron, it sounds like Age of Voltron.
Yeah, I know. Damn it, where's Voltron live action?
Yeah, I want my Voltron movie. So so they were interviewing Joss Whedon about Age of Ultron. And basically, of course he's going to stick around with Marvel and he's going to be a consultant. But they had asked him, they said, would you, if the offer ever came across the table, would you direct a DC movie? And, he had, now mind you, years before all the Marvel movies started blowing up, he had written a Wonder Woman script, and he goes from what he sees, the DC in no way, shape, or form, their Wonder Woman doesn't look anything like the Wonder Woman that he had in mind. He doesn't think they're going to go the way that he had planned. But he had said that he goes, if they gave him a serious offer, he would take it. And he goes, but unfortunately, he goes, he likes to make his movies a little light. He wants to make, he could think of 1,000 jokes to throw in there, which, these movies, say what you want about them. I mean, they're fun. The Avengers, the Avengers is a fun movie. He's consulted in all these other movies, so he basically said that, he feels that DC, the way they're going right now, they wouldn't let him make the movie that he wants to make. He goes, if they're serious and if they basically said, look, make the movie you want to make and we won't intervene, or we won't intervene that much, I would do it. And he goes, basically he said he would like to do the Wonder Woman movie because he worked on a Wonder Woman script, but he goes, his vision of Wonder Woman is not fitting in their projected universe.
Right, and coming out of Batman v Superman, it's going to be hard to change Wonder Woman,
Yeah, you can't go from all serious and then making a goofy movie. Not
You're
goofy, but
yeah, no, that wouldn't happen. I don't think so.
Yeah, So he basically said he would do it, but he doesn't think DC right now at their current way of handling things, but he would do it, which would be interesting. I mean, I guess if we live in a world where J.J. Abrams could direct both Star Trek and Star Wars, I mean, I guess we could technically have Joss Whedon do a DC movie, but like you said, and so he's not set up to direct anything. He's purposely, there's no upcoming projects other than consulting on Marvel movies,
right?
Which which is I mean, it's a job, but it's not he doesn't have to, he feels like he's burnt out.
Well,
and,
it's kind of like the whole thing with J.J. Abrams. He's directing the new Star Wars movie, but then he's also, I believe, he's an executive producer on Star Trek as well. So the third Star Trek coming out. So it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can see when you say producing, it's kind of like the same consulting. He's going to be a producer on the future Marvel movies, but it's just he's just stepping back where he's not so involved. He wants to go to 10 meetings and not 100 meetings. So it makes sense, and I get I do like the fact that, stepping back and say, look, if you're not going to give it your 100%, I guess it is better that you step back instead of giving us, like when the Batman movies went sour, the 80s, 90s movies, when they, it's better he leaves now than gives us, the Avengers with nipples on their costumes or something like that. And speaking of, here we are just a few days away from the Avengers 2 coming out, and they've, as of today, now this is on Twitter, according to Louis D'Esposito, who's one of the big wigs at Marvel. Civil War, Captain America: Civil War has started shooting today.
Yes.
So it's like, they're so confident in their product. It's not like they're like, oh, we're going to sit back and wait to see what the Avengers does. Like they've already, for all the money and planning and everything like that it takes to make.
You know what? The excitement building up to Civil War is so high right now that they could Avengers could shit the bed and they still would do well. So
yeah, which is, it's not going to happen because apparently, I guess it was Avengers has already been like released on like Australia and shit like that. Like it's out there because there's people who've seen it. There's videos online of like people talking about like post-credit scenes and shit like that.
Yeah.
So allegedly, and this isn't really spoiling, there is no post-credit scene in the Avengers.
We'll see.
They're saying there's a scene during the credits, which is what they're doing, but there's no post-credit scene. So I don't know what to make of that. But
from what I've heard,
it was kind of spoiled for me, but I don't want to talk about it. I definitely don't
well,
want to spoil it.
I do know kind of. Well, I actually know who dies, but I'm not going to spoil that either. But I'll tell you this. I will say this, okay? And this is your only hint. This is the only hint I'm going to give you. He's been in a movie before, and it makes sense that this character gets killed off because, well, it kind of screws up the whole continuity. But that being said, I really want to talk about some more stuff, but it's time for you to get moving.
Well, no, we got a couple more minutes.
Okay. Well, let me just make this quick. Speaking of Captain America, Spider-Man. Why? Why do I see 5 candidates and 2 of them look like real little kids? I'm just like, no.
They've said they want a young Spider-Man. They've made that like. To be honest, I don't know what 5 candidates you're talking about. I haven't seen that, but
it's on comingsoon.net. But I can tell you right now, like there's maybe 1 or 2 of them that would be okay as Spider-Man. I just don't like. I am just so like. You just want to bury Spider-Man in the sand, don't you? Just like I understand. Okay, you want to get a different person. You want to do, this is kind of like a restart of Spider-Man. I get it. I understand. But I'm going to reaffirm my position on this. In this movie, it should be Tobey Maguire. I'm sorry. Tobey Maguire, it just makes sense. It just makes sense to me that a more veteran Spider-Man should be in this movie. And plus, out of the 2 people that played Spider-Man, he did it better than Andrew Garfield. I'm sorry. Not just because he's a British actor, but because, Tobey Maguire did a very good job. So
yeah, but they've made it very clear. They've said it many times that they want it to be.
I'm still gonna fucking bitch about it, okay? I just don't like this. I just think that I see them pulling a DC here. I see them, trying to overdo this, and I just don't want them to go in the wrong direction with Spider-Man because it's already gone in the wrong direction twice already. Why make this a 3rd time?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the first 2 Spider-Mans, great, awesome, great, and then you had to make Spider-Man 3 and force Sam Raimi to do things that he didn't want to do. I'm sorry, but no, I just can't see this working. Okay, Marvel has done a very good job so far, but I just don't see this working. I just see it failing epically. I see what I see is like Robert Downey Jr. and who plays Captain America again? I can't think of his name.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans.
Yeah, I just see them like basically overshadowing him throughout the whole movie and making Spider-Man look like this piece of shit. I can't talk about it anymore because you got to get out of here. So.
Well, and somewhat related news. Well, since we're staying stuck on Marvel movies, or the character Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, they're doing, they're giving him his own comic, which he might have had his own comic in the past, but they're kind of giving him his own comic now, and they're getting the wrestler CM Punk to write it. I don't know how CM Punk writes. I only know him from wrestling, not from writing.
I would say that there's got to be something for them to just been like CM Punk to write this, because look, I know Marvel's not that stupid, okay? Yeah. I know they're not going to just be like, oh, well, CM Punk's popular, let's just let him write whatever he wants. Yeah, okay. I'm sure he's written some stuff. So don't get worried about that, Chris. Okay.
Yeah, I hope it's not like, like they call stunt casting. Like, I hope they're not like, oh, we'll let him write a comic book because then it'll get people who like CM Punk will buy it. I don't know. Just like basically in my mind, I'm like, asshole, just go back to fucking wrestling. Swallow your fucking pride. Let Vince McMahon keep fucking you in the ass and just go back to fucking wrestling. I don't. I'm not gonna buy the Drax comic book because fucking CM Punk wrote it. I'm not. I mean, it sounds interesting. I will check it out. I want to check it out, but I don't know. Part of me is just like, just wrestle while you still can. I don't know.
Anyway, with that, let's get the hell out.
With that, please visit twostrangersonepodcast.net where you can find all things show related. First and foremost, you can find our link to iTunes. So if you have an iPhone, iPad, or iPod, or I don't know, does that even work on the Apple Watch? I don't know. But you could follow us. You go to iTunes and download every single episode. Where, like I said, you go back. Just last episode we hit our 3-year mark. So you can go back and see what I was thinking about 3 years ago. Like I said, you can listen to the episode with me dragging Kristen to all the comic book stores. I believe it was called like Best Week Ever for Nerds or something like that. Basically, if you don't have an iPhone, an iPad, or iPod, you can do what I was doing the past week. Like I said, I listen to Stitcher now. In the past, I've always listened to Stitcher. I've always streamed it. That was always my deal. But now they have this great option. It's called Listen Later, and it basically means when you're in a Wi-Fi spot, you're at home, you're at McDonald's, you're at Starbucks, you're in a public library, you can go to the Listen Later option. You type in the podcast that you like our show, like Mark Maron's podcast, Adam Carolla's, Kevin Smith's podcast, Chris Hardwick's The Nerdist, Neil deGrasse Tyson's Star Talk, and those are just the ones I listen to. And of course, the Tsunami Faithful podcast.
Damn straight.
And you can, and what it does is it makes like, and before it was just 6, but now I want to say it's like 10, where you can download like the 10 most recent episodes while you're in a Wi-Fi spot. So you're not killing your data plan. If you're a person like me that has metered data, you could listen later while you're in the Wi-Fi spot. Download all the episodes that you want. The most 10. I mean, really, who's going to go back more than 10 episodes? And if you want to, you can. You just have to load more episodes. But you listen later, and then later on, when you're not in a Wi-Fi spot, like I'm doing at work when I'm working and I'm not, I don't want to kill the data and I don't want to kill the battery on my phone, and I listen later while I'm out doing what I got to do. I have my headphones on, while the construction guys are fucking banging and scraping and destroying my store. I listen to podcasts. So use the Listen Later option on Stitcher. That's STITCHER. You could pretty much any podcast worth listening to is on Stitcher.
You don't mean the Linger Longer app?
Linger longer. Waddle doodle. So you can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast, all spelled out. I mean, of course, we want your money. I don't know, maybe we got to start a Patreon, but only because I've seen other people with their Patrons, and some people are making fucking halfway decent money with that shit. So, but
we're getting there. It's a slow process, but we're getting there.
Yeah, if you want to help the show, and it takes 2 seconds to like us, it takes 2 seconds to share this episode or Two Strangers One Podcast, the entire page on your page. Everybody and their fucking mother has a Facebook. So that would greatly help to kind of get us out there, because unfortunately on Facebook, the people that like the page, not everybody that likes the page gets every update. It's a real fucking pain in the ass. It's the way Facebook runs their shit. But if you would, I would appreciate it. If it just takes 2 seconds, just like us, or share this episode, or share the page on facebook.com/twostrangersonepodcast. We are also on Twitter at Stranger Podcast. I've been super busy. I want to interact with more people. I have like pictures I want to upload that are Two Strangers Podcast related. I'll probably upload them to our Facebook page. But basically, the Twitter is basically just reposting stuff we put on Facebook. But feel free to if you want to reach out to us on at Stranger Podcast, or follow us at Stranger Podcast. And also, if you want to write to the show, you can write to us, Two Strangers One Podcast, all spelled out, at gmail.com. Once again, that's Two Strangers One Podcast, all spelled out, at gmail.com. You can interact with us. I mean, people who've listened to the past couple of episodes, I mean, one of my favorite people that writes to the show is Oscar. I haven't got anything from him yet, but basically, I mean, as interactive as
you didn't talk about me enough this episode.
As interactive as he is, you can do the same thing. And like I said, I mean, we do have people that share us on Twitter and have shared us on Facebook and stuff like that. And I want to thank everybody. I really do want to appreciate our listeners. thank you for being there for us, and even downloading episodes and sharing episodes. It's so fucking cool, so fucking awesome. We try to be as entertaining as we can. I really can't think of anything else. I acquiesce the floor to you, sir.
Oh, well, thank you. You can follow me on Twitter. It's at Paul Pascrillo. My last name is spelled Pescrillo. You can follow my Instagram. It's instagram.com/Paul Pascrillo. And if you want to ask me questions and you feel like you're brave and the bold, that's not a Batman reference or anything. You can, ask me a question there. It's ask.fm/Paul Pascrillo. And that's basically it.
So we certainly hope you enjoyed listening and had as much fun as we did recording. Thank you for listening to Two Strangers One Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Paul.
Don't be a stranger.
Peace. Oh,
bye.
Bitches.
You should be fat.
To Chris's face.
These pipes are clean.
All right, here we go, man. Go ahead. You want to read
Double
it?
Jackpot.
What is it?
It is a self-published book by Christopher Cologne.
Chris Cologne smells good to me.
But
Look at her. That broke that fucking cold little exterior. He's like, hee.
But it is spelled Colon.
Him punny.
But Double Jackpot is a book about a comic book artist, Eric, who is in a loveless relationship with the materialistic
I feel you, Eric.
Lynette.
Oh, fucking. Are you sure I didn't write this? Sounds hauntingly familiar.
He starts cheating on his girlfriend with a more creatively supportive woman, Nadia.
Well, I got to meet her. Where's the Nadia?
There's your summer girlfriend.
Summer Nadia is Nadia.
Nadia?
Yeah, I think Nadia spelled with an A.
All right.
Both Lynette and Nadia play the double jackpot, the largest payout in lotto history, much like the recent Powerball. Both girls play his birth date as the winning numbers. Eric is now stuck between two of the country's richest women. Who will he choose? It's not that simple. This is a clever fucking idea,
Yeah, it
man.
is.
Look at her, fucking. She's impressed.
I am.
She got some summer reading. Christopher Cologne smells real lovely with an original idea. I've never heard this before.
I haven't either. This is a self-published book, much in the indie spirit as Kev's Clerks.
Oh, you don't even need to name check me. It's just a good idea. You could stand on your own, man. You don't even have to be like, hey, remember Clerks? This is nothing like that. This is way more original than Clerks. This is a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of this?
I need something to read. This book is part of the Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games Trilogy Book 2. Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, coming soon.
Right on, man. It's part of a trilogy. This is the first part.
Way to write, man.
He's seeking a literary agent. Motherfuckers, anybody out there? There ain't no literary agents listening to this show, I assure you, sure. Sure. I assure you, sure. But somebody know a literary agent? Hook a motherfucker up! Chris Cologne come up with an original idea. I should tell Raskin. That's a good fucking idea, to be honest with you. That's a fucking rom-com right there. Megan, get Raskin on the phone. Isn't it possible to get Raskin on the phone? No?
Yeah.
I want to run it past him, man. And if it happens, I get a taste, Chris Cologne. I get a whiff, if you will.
The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com.
That's lulu.com.
I understand that. I just want to spell it out.
Normally one says that spells it. Still, lulu.com. What is that? Do you know what it is?
I don't know. All right. The book could also be ordered on www.lulu.com. Search for Double Jackpot Christopher Cologne. A paperback version of the book is $15, and a PDF file is only $5.
$5 is
Yeah.
insanely inexpensive. 15's not even that bad for a paperback version.
No.
This is $1 million idea right here. Like a movie about a dude who fucking is stuck between two chicks, both of who play his birthday and win the lottery. Come on! I can see that trailer. Chris Cologne is on to something. Nobody else can smell it but me.
I'll read it.
Thank you. I'm going to make that smelly joke.
I know. You're trying to get me to laugh again.
It worked once. Double Jackpot is a self-published book by Chris Cologne, man. It's the first book in his Comic Books, Heavy Metal, Video Games trilogy. Book 2, Odd I See, A Tale from the Road, should be coming out soon. Get all the information at Chris Cologne, like a motherfucker.
I will
his
totally
book,
read this.
Double Jackpot. I'm serious. I'm going to recommend that to fucking Raskin. How is that not a movie? You know what I'm saying? This could be a sexy movie. You could do an R-rated version. There could be nudie in it, and you could saw them fucking both chicks. Maybe a little penetration. Maybe a butthole shot. No butthole, no care.
I would like to formally apologize to Christopher Cologne. Right
No,
now
sex
for
sells.
that.
Chris Cologne will appreciate that. He's like, thanks for throwing a few buttholes in there, man.
Don't forget to check out twostrangersonePodcast.net, your one-stop resource for everything show-related. You can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes or on Stitcher. You could also find links to buy my book, Double Jackpot, on twostrangersonepodcast.net.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.